So if you love what we are doing, please share this message and like it. Let others know about our channel. ONN is a global movement, and we are ready to work for the greater good of Nigeria, Africa, and the greater humanity. Bye, 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 bye for now. I love you. Arise, O Nigeria's colony, to serve our fatherland with love and spirit and faith. Like the born of heroes now shall never be in vain. Oh, but with our might, what is jump out in freedom, peace, and beauty. Bye. Good morning, Nigerians, Africans, people around the world. This is Mado Ajaja, the convener of Open Nigeria and Africa Unite, and the anchor of Nigeria Now and Matters Arising. Yes. How are you? I hope you had a great weekend. Great weekend. Thank you, thank you. We thank all those who regularly join us, and especially our newcomers. We thank you very much for taking your time to be part of what we do here at ONN. Yes, we appreciate you seriously, and our returning members and subscribers. We can't thank you enough for all you do to get us where we are. Thank you very much for coming back. Yes, I'm doing a follow up on an earlier broadcast about Nigeria and the planned U.S. involvement. Yes, and the reactions of Nigerians. Nigerians have been reacting seriously, and the reactions um, of two folds. The poor people in Nigeria who have had it, they have given up, they are voiceless, they are powerless, they are poor and economically disenfranchised. They have given up across religions, across tribal delineations. Yes, majority of the poor people in Nigeria would rather want an American invasion of their country. They are not even worried about sovereignty and territorial integrity and the questions surrounding their compromises. The reflection of their opinions is strongly suggestive of a people or a diagnostic of a people who have given up on their country, a people who live in a concrete jungle where survival is the motto. Yes, the life in Nigeria now is about survival, survival of the fittest. A massive African country that at independence was hailed as giant of Africa, the future of Africa, and a beacon of hope for all black people everywhere on the surface of this earth. To see where the country is now, a tragic erosion of everything, a tragic erosion of sovereignty, a tragic erosion of morality or morals, a tragic erosion of integrity, an erosion of everything has the people now given up on their country. They don't mind. any help from anywhere, whether those helps are genuine or not. They just want to be free because they have been incapacitated and so incapable of standing for themselves to free themselves from their common enemies. The country is now a hub of terrorism. A group of people driven by a warped religious ideology are taking over one Nigeria, one village at a time. Millions of Nigerians live in internally displaced people's camps in their country. They live like they are refugees. They have given up. They are on the canvas. They have no government to look up to for direction. They have no government to look up to for protection in line with the provisions of their constitution. The first role, the first job, constitutional responsibility of every government is to protect lives and property. Sadly, Nigerians don't have the luxury of that. The country's security forces are no longer the people's security forces. The security forces of Nigeria are in the hands of terrorists and bandits. They control, they have seized the control and command infrastructure of the armed forces. So the people are left with nothing. Terrorists run amok and have seized over half of the country and proceeding down south of the country. And yet there's no help from anywhere. There's no government in Nigeria. What they call government was a government that came without the people's mandate. And so it lacks the moral authority to administer the people. And the fake government of Nigeria, sadly, was brought about by those who mastermind terrorism in Nigeria. So by extension, the government is a terrorist government. That is why it cannot summon the courage to fight terrorism. That is why it cannot summon the courage to fight insecurity. That is why it doesn't have the moral platform to stand up to fight religious extremism. They came with this mantra of Muslim tickets in a country that is supposed to be a secular state, in a country to be a federal state. Yes, in a country that is supposed to be a federal country, the idea of citizenship and nationhood has been eroded. What we now see in Nigeria is extreme religious nationalism, extreme tribal nationalism. Nothing about Nigeria. That is where we are. The country is fast eroding into extinction. Sadly, the people don't understand the implications of what is going on their future because they are so poor, they are so weak, they are so incapacitated, they have been so muzzled down by what is supposed to be the country's security forces. The armed forces of Nigeria instead of defending the country's territorial integrity and sovereignty, turned the guns on the people who raised their hands to ask questions. You are aware about a young man called Nnamdi Kanu who has been in detention for the second time. The first time he went on detention, he was there for 5 years. They released him and set court dates. As soon as the court date was getting near, they went, they went and invaded his home. Not because he was running. He didn't want to try to escape. He was getting ready to appear in court. They preemptively went out there to invade his home. Their pythons started dancing. That was the name of their military operation, Operation Python Dance. They went, deployed army against one citizen. He is not a nation. He is not another country. They deployed the army swiftly to attack his home. When it was over 28 persons laid dead. Unprovoked attack. And the people of Nigeria kept quiet. Everybody went to sleep because they acted like it wasn't their problem. That was a national problem. Because the country is so divided along tribal lines, divided along religious lines. So when it's happening to one tribe, the rest of the people will be quiet. And some will even be celebrating the pain of fellow Nigerians just because they differ by tribal lines. Yes. So the young man managed to escape. Because they wanted to tag him as a fugitive, as one who they could hold accountable for contempt of court. They violated him. They violated the laws of Nigeria. So he escaped. He escaped. Yes. And then they kept on looking for ways to get him. He went to Kenya, perhaps on a private visit, not knowing that they were looking for him. They kidnapped him from Kenya, smuggled him back into Nigeria. International kidnap. Brought him back, put him in jail. And he has been there for nearly another 5 years. That is 10 years. Yes. And since then, they have not been able to find him guilty. Courts have pronounced him innocent and discharged him. But the fake government that is supposed to be democratic and one that will respect human rights and rule of law never saw any reason to release him. So he has been used, is now being used as a commodity by various interest groups. That is how sad Nigeria is. Now let's go back to the original message. Terrorism started in Nigeria in 2007 under the watch of President Olusegun Obasanjo. When it started, I believe this whole thing could have been dealt with decisively at the time. They allowed it to grow, and now it has mushroomed. And the people behind it are members of a minority group in Nigeria called the Fulani groups. The elites of the Fulanis, driven by the warped ideology of Usman Dan Fodio, who invaded the northern states of what became Nigeria, the Hausa states. Driven by economics, quest for power, and the control of the country's finances, have never allowed the country to rest. 10 out of the 10 out of the 13 heads of state of Nigeria came from among them, either directly or remotely. They are never satisfied. They want to continue to be in charge of the country. Their mission is to deliberately destroy the country. And they have done a great job at that. Our economy is lying prostrate. Our educational system destroyed. Healthcare delivery system destroyed. No infrastructure. Nothing is working in the country. They seized the control of the armed forces, with which they silence the people, silence the voice of dissent. It is an apartheid system that we have in Nigeria. For a strange reason, they are able to manipulate the country's 250 million people. This is a group of people from an ethnic group whose population in Nigeria is not up to 10 million. But they have the country in East Jugola. They have the country they have the testicles of Nigeria. No one can challenge them. For the period of very long time, they have recruited and positioned their mercenary forces in forests across Nigeria. They brazenly brandish illegally acquired weapons, AK-47, rocket-propelled grenade, and now they are using drones. They are now using drones. They go to villages, massacre its citizens, drive them away, and occupy their houses. And every place they capture, they never live there. The people become displaced. Those who manage to escape with their lives. It is genocide. It is ethnic cleansing. And it is only one group that is doing it. There's no other group in Nigeria that is responsible for it. It is one group, and it is the Fulani group. They have put fears in the eyes of Nigerians. Nigerians are now scared for their lives. They now talk in hushed tones because they don't know what is next. You can only talk about yesterday, but you are not sure of the next minute. You can't travel safely on the roads in Nigeria. You can't go to your farms and be sure that you are going to come back. Women are being raped. Children in elementary schools are being kidnapped. They will roll buses into elementary schools, order the students in, and drive them away into the deep forests. And nobody Nobody, no security agency comes out on behalf of their victims. As we speak, no one, not even one, not one, not one person has been prosecuted for these heinous crimes against humanity. They kidnap you and you can't pay ransom. They kill you and sell your organs. They sell kidneys. They sell livers. They now sell hearts of innocent and defenseless Nigerians. Nigerians are living in pains. And for some reason, there has been a lot of agitation from Nigerians around the world, especially those who live in the United States, to the extent that Senator Ted Cruz took their case to the Congress, where Nigeria was designated, sadly, designated as a country of a particular concern, paving way for an impending military incursion in Nigeria by the United States to save Christians. But I want to say, like I said before, it is Nigerians that are being murdered. It is Nigerians that are being massacred. I don't want to belong to the school of thought that say that those people are Christians. Yes, there are Christians among them, but still, they are Nigerians. Is it a genocide? Yes, it is a genocide. And it is a genocide because one group in Nigeria is responsible for it. And that is a greater ground for the U.S. involvement. Now, the question a lot of people are asking is the genuinity of the planned U.S. involvement as announced by President Donald Trump. Is it going to happen the way it happened in other countries when they left Warsaw? The question they're asking is, will Nigeria become another Libya? Will Nigeria become another Afghanistan? Will Nigeria become another Iraq? Will Nigeria become another Iran? Syria? That is the question Nigerians are asking. They send me all these questions, and I'm bringing it out, hoping that perhaps there are people who are close to President Donald Trump. So as he plans, hopefully for the good of Nigeria, as he stated, I don't want to doubt that his intentions are genuine or not. I don't want to doubt that. But the passion that he came to speak with, the passion with those for with which those who advance the cause for action in Nigeria, I saw the passion, I saw the expressions in their faces. We can only hope that the intentions are genuine, and we can only hope that Nigeria does not have to pay any cost ahead of, during, and after the involvement, because we do not want to see a situation where Nigeria will be left worse off. That is the concern of a lot of Nigerians, especially the enlightened Nigerians. Yes, President Donald Trump has stirred something in Nigeria, and I like that. That those behind the terrorism in Nigeria, they have become restless now. They have become sleepless. They have been buying pages in the mainstream Nigerian media, the corrupt mainstream Nigerian media. All those who have never been patriotic before are now demonstrating fake patriotism, rallying Nigerians, calling on Nigerians to not allow the United States to invade their country. The same people who turned their faces and their eyes elsewhere when Arab mercenaries were being brought into Nigeria. Yes, Arab mercenaries sponsored, paid by Saudi Arabia. They are all operating inside Nigeria. Yes. You know, I'm going to read some statements. I'm going to read some comments for the people of the world to see. This is the toughest time for me as an activist. This is the toughest time for me as a Nigerian. This is the toughest time for me as a freedom fighter whose mission is premised on total morality. I've stood, I've stood, I've stood on the platform of morality to condemn what is happening in Gaza. Yes, to innocent and defenseless Palestinian children and women. But those who condemn Israel, who support Hamas, are destroying my brothers and sisters in Nigeria. They are destroying Nigerians. They are destroying Nigerian Christians and Nigerian Muslims. Now that puts me in a very difficult and very awkward position. Yes. How are we going to... I can't support Bola Ahmed Tinubu, no matter how much he calls for people to rally around him. He's illegal. He was not elected by the people of Nigeria. He lacks the moral ground to stand on to ask for my support to prevent a U.S. invasion of Nigeria. Even though I don't want it, he cannot. That is why a lot of people, the ordinary people, are not even listening. The only people with whom he's calling for this support are those criminals with whom he has been working to repress Nigeria and the people of Nigeria. This is a man who has been deploying the army to destroy the people in the southeast of Nigeria. This is the criminal, a rogue, drug dealer, certificate forger, and identity thief, sitting illegally and illegitimately on the seat of power in Nigeria. So how will I, out of my conscience, now lying behind him because I don't want the United States to invade Nigeria? I don't want that to happen. But it's not going to be on Bola Ahmed Tinubu's terms. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is he willing to arrest and prosecute Saad Abubakar? Is he willing to arrest and prosecute El Rufai? Is he willing to arrest and prosecute Ahmad Gumi? Is he willing to arrest and prosecute all the emirs in the north and all the Fulani politicians and religious leaders with hands and those who support terrorism in Nigeria? Does he have that God? They brought him to power with the mission of seizing Nigeria in their hearts. So why should I and why should anyone call me to line behind him? Why is that patriotism so necessary right now? My patriotism works out of morality. I will never support any evil. But the dilemma here is, how honest is the US? How honest is the Donald Trump with his plans for Nigerians or Nigerian Christians? Even though if he did it the right way, it will benefit the whole of Nigeria. If his actions are targeted against those, some of the names that I have mentioned now, if the intention is to come and pick Saad, pick El Rufai, pick Ahmad Gumi, pick all the corrupt northern emirs and religious leaders who are Fulanis and who are behind terrorism in Nigeria, if the action is geared towards picking them, he can come and take them away. If the action is going to be expanded beyond that, I have no hand in it. I will not support it because I don't want Nigeria to be destroyed the way Iraq was destroyed, the way Libya was destroyed. Yeah, that is partly the reason Nigeria is about to be destabilized, because all the arms that were in the hands of dissident groups ended up in Nigeria. That's what these Fulanis are using to attack Nigerians. Yes, because those who invaded Libya did not do a good job stabilizing the country and bringing the country back to where it should become a new country. They destroyed the country and left. So we don't want that. So I don't want to have any doubts that the United States will use Nigeria as a model for doing a great job and not just invade the country and leave it worse off for the people of Nigeria to continue to suffer, and then create a ground for the kind of hell Libya is in right now, where they trade human beings. Yes, and that country will not be the same again. So this is a question. We need that assurance from the United States that their action or the action of Donald Trump is going to be swift, targeted, and decisive. Yes, we do not want Bola Ahmed Tinubu as president of Nigeria. If he wants to take Bola Ahmed Tinubu away with him, he can go ahead and take him. We don't want the current political class in Nigeria. When a few bandits, terrorists, Fulanis were destroying the country, were planning, they were part of it. They were signatories to what happened to Nigeria. So the Nigerian political class should as well go down so we can start a new page for a Nigeria that will have free, fair, equal, unlimited, and unconditional access to opportunity to every Nigerian. Yes. So if that is the mission, good. I tell you, if I read to you some of the actions that are coming, responses that are coming from the corrupt Nigerian elites, you said this is Donald Trump did a good job, at least with his announcement. Everybody is now scared. The criminals holding Nigeria hostage politically, they are now scared because of what they will lose if Nigeria goes down. Yes, everybody is now scared. They are scared like shit. Yes, let me take a few things here that I see. Yes, and I want to announce that I have officially, I've officially placed myself on a painful self-imposed exile from Nigeria, where I was born 63 years ago. I will not be coming to Nigeria until the current Fulani constitution is set aside. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is removed from power, hopefully by the people. Yes, by the people via a revolution. The entire thieving political class in Nigeria is overpowered, disassembled, and attenuated. A new transitional government is installed, and a new People's Constitution with stringent clauses that will make it most difficult, if not impossible, for criminals like Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his likes from across the country to emerge as leaders of Nigeria at all levels, is written by the people of Nigeria themselves, ahead of a new people's election to be conducted by a truly independent electoral umpire that will be insulated from political manipulation by anybody or any group. This is definitely not an act of cowardice, but a tough choice for a marked for death on arrival true patriot who lives outside the country and is daily dropping targeted mind-changing long-range missiles that are hurting the enemies of Nigeria and weakening their grip on the country and its people. It is certainly a very painful act of compelling selfless patriotic service or sacrifice for the ultimate benefit of the poor, repressed, oppressed, powerless, voiceless, and economically disenfranchised people of Nigeria, whose message I now carry and I'm sharing daily everywhere, including in previously difficult circles where they are now being heard and discussed. Taking cognizance of the strategic global positioning of Nigeria and the implication of its collapse, or the implication its collapse could have on the global economy, peace, and security, that its corrupt leadership has been taken for granted because of their citizens' inherent low level of consciousness. Let me use this opportunity to reassure my fellow Nigerians that declaring Nigeria as a country of a particular concern by the United States over the raging targeted serial massacre of Nigerians across Nigeria by elitist Fulani masterminded terrorists is something routine that the United States does, arguably to protect groups, as they claim, they classify as endangered populations and victims of violence that points towards genocide around the world, and not an action against the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the country, which in actual sense of the matter has been wantonly violated by the influxes of foreign mercenaries brought into the country by known Fulani elites. Yes, yes, yes. This is the position that I have taken. So painful, so painful. It is sad. Yes, the Fulanis are now operating everywhere in the country's territorial space with militias that they brought from all over Africa and the Arab world. Now our country is about to become a center of hellfire. What can we do as a people? This classification and any actions that follows are the result of the efforts of the pressure groups, including citizens of affected countries and drivers of hopefully credible humanitarian organizations who have well documented incontrovertible evidence of gross human rights violations on which the United States would hopefully base its actions. However, my only concern about any U.S. military operation in Nigeria include the extent of it, the targets of it, the cost, who will pay for it, and how will it be paid, and their exit strategy, especially with no credible government in place. But will it be fair for us to wait until the whole of our fellow citizens of Nigeria to get wiped off the surface of the earth by a savage Fulani army and militia that value the lives of their cattle more than human lives, on the altar of defending the sovereignty and territorial integrity of our already wantonly violated country, if assuming the intervention of the Americans are genuine, we must make a choice of either to unite now and rise up against our common elitist Fulani enemy and our political class, which will be in our best interest. Do nothing and perish in their hands, or allow the Americans to move in to help us end the genocide, hopefully, at no cost, or at a minimal cost, without losing our recent most valuable sovereignty and territorial integrity. Whichever choice we make, we must move fast to save Nigerian lives. For me, anything short of arresting and prosecuting and punishing all the Fulani masterminds of terrorism led by Saad Abubakar, Bello Bodejo, Nasiru El-Rufai, Ahmed Gumi, yes, and for their crimes against humanity is a non-starter. Yes, that is my position. What do you think, Nigerians? Now, you see, more Nigerians, ordinary day-to-day Nigerians who have given up, want America to come and invade their country. One, because they are ignorant. Two, because they are powerless, they are voiceless. They have nobody to speak for them, nobody to defend them. All they see is invaders every day. Yes, yes, that is the problem we have right now. For me, it's the most difficult time in my life as an activist. The most difficult time in my life as a freedom fighter. I am in limbo. How are we going to handle this without causing the kind of damage one of my friends said? Paul Hader, a great friend of mine, an activist who lives in Oregon. He has been bombarding me with a lot of things, information, and what he thinks Nigeria will become if the United States moved into Nigeria. Yes, look, comparing what had happened in the past and what is likely to happen to Nigeria. So you Nigerians, I have been calling on you. I have told you time without number that the only people who can save Nigeria is the Nigerian people. How come you ordinary Nigerian? How come we the sufferers? How come we the victims of these criminals? Yes, that brought Bola Ahmed Tinubu cannot come together and take our country. What sense does our majority make if we cannot hold down less than 1 million people? Where are we in this whole thing? Why can't we stand up for our country? Why do we need someone else to come and do it for us? We don't know how it's going to play out. We only hear about the promise. Where is our country going to go? That is the question. Are you a Muslim? Are you a Muslim? Are you a Muslim from Nigeria? Are you a Muslim from the north of Nigeria? Where these criminals who are masterminding hell for your country is. Do you believe in what they believe? Are you still aligning with them because they are quote and unquote Muslims and so you cannot stand up to them? Are you an Hausa person? Yes, Hausa people who have been victims of the Fulani machination for 221 years. Why can't you team up with the rest of Nigeria, the ordinary day-to-day people of Nigeria, to come together and seize Nigeria before it is too late? Yes, so we can save life, so we can save our country of the bombardment from everywhere. Because what is going to happen in Nigeria is not going to be a child's play. Yeah, it is easier imagined. Yeah, it is better imagined. Why can't we, the people of Nigeria, stand up and put Bola Ahmed Tinubu out of office? It is compelling. It is now. You allow him because he works for those who are destroying our country. He works for those who support Hamas. Yes, but they come and do the same thing Hamas is doing to us in Nigeria. Yes, they are the ones who claim that they are against Israel, but they are doing worse than what Israel is doing to the people in Gaza. Yes, we, the people of Nigeria, must stand up. We must stand on the platform of morality. We must stand as citizens of Nigeria. We must stand first as Africans. We must not be victims of foreign imperial religions. Adeboye, where are you? Oyedepo, where are you? Kumuyi, where are you? Johnson Suleiman, where are you? Why are you all now silent? Bishop Kuka, now you are taking side with the enemies of Nigeria. This is a battle of light and darkness. Morality versus immorality. Yes, life and death. Nigeria and impostors and invaders. Nigerians, choose. Choose. Where do you belong? Where do you stand on this struggle? Those who are calling for support for Bola Tinubu, forget about him. Join the ordinary people in Nigeria on the mainstream, on the main street, and let's take our country. Bola Tinubu is one of them. Yes, he's a beneficiary of terrorism. He will never move against them. Never. You see what he did to his chief of army staff, chief of defense staff. The man who was praising him, working with him, and making more political statements than professional army statements. Now, when he decided to be a true patriot, the Fulani elements called him and asked him to sack him. He sacked General Christopher Musa. Yes. And then a bandit is your minister of defense, Dr. Bello Matawale. Yes. A terrorist is your vice president, Kashin Shetima. In whose house? Those who bombed United Nations building were arrested. Are you a Muslim driven by morality? Are you a Muslim who loves Nigeria? Are you a Muslim who will put Nigeria first before anything? Do you realize that if you are a Muslim, your business, your judgment is going to be for yourself and not for the whole of Islam? Yes, you got to wake up. And if there is judgment, you know that when you face the Almighty, you're going to face him by yourself. Like Saad and the rest of them will face him. So, in all, I am calling the United States. I'm challenging you. You have to prove beforehand that your intention to come into Nigeria is genuine, and that Nigeria will not have to pay anything with its mineral resources, and will not pay anything. You are coming to just help a sisterly country. Take those criminals away so we can build a new Nigeria. If that is the case, we will all support you. Yes, if that is the case, we will all support you. It is important that we know the extent of your involvement, how long it's going to take, and what targets you intend to get. God bless Nigeria. God save Nigeria. We thank the United States, especially for the steps they have taken. At least they raised their voice, and the voice is being heard in Nigeria. The criminals are now becoming emergency patriots. They are calling for fake patriotism. That if you can come and get them, we'll hand them over. We'll name them. Take them with you. Do whatever you want to do with them. We'll be more than happy to allow that. And let it end there. God bless America. Thank you, all my listeners. We appreciate you. We thank you for everything that you have done to help us stay afloat by way of your sharing our messages. And we see a huge recommendation by YouTube. You know, our messages are becoming increasingly recommended. Yes, because we are speaking the truth. We thank you. We wouldn't be here if not for you. We wouldn't get to that level if not for you. And I ask again, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please take a few minutes, just take a few seconds. Do us this favor. If every subscription that you make, we view it as $1 million because it means a lot to us. It means the world to us. It means the world to us now and always. It means the world to us, especially at this time when the voice of true Nigerians need to be heard. Please, thank you very much. Much love, much love, much love, much love. We love you for everything, all the contributions that you have made. Those who joined our membership, we thank you for your joining. Yes, your labor will not be in vain. I'm tired of being told about Nigeria has a huge potential, potentially great, potentially great. I want to see the greatness of Nigeria in my lifetime. So if you love what we are doing, please share this message and like it. Let others know about our channel. ONN is a global movement, and we are ready to work for the greater good of Nigeria, Africa, and the greater humanity. Bye, 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 bye for now. I love you. Arise, O compatriot, Nigerians all over to serve our fatherland with love and spirit and give for our heroes now shall never be in vain. Oh, but with us, fight one day.